About to see what this tournament about. About to see what this is about. Let's check them out on this one.
Drop a message in text chat and keep it friendly.
Nobody, Pinelli, Perigo, Saholo, Delta, Elas, Elasobi. Nobody, Aprisha, Pinelli, Perigo, Saholo, Delta.
Zone to zone. And that's that desperation kicking in here. As this is game number 4. The last opportunities are before us here. Visuals Braids getting back into the action here. Really impressive though. You have to consider the fact that with Visual resetting all that damage, bouncing back in it, now being above it as if they never were below is so impressive. When was the last time you saw Harpoon?
I would literally
that feels like a throwback. Oh my gosh.
And to just harpoon a slap-a-roni pizza. And that just goes to the testament of literally what you're talking about. Visuals down, Braids by himself, a great spot in zone that he had to give up just to get this reboot. And now if you look at their loadout, place Virgo taking a big shot, forced it back up. Luckily for him, they not only got the elimination, but you can see what they're fighting for, all the loot right in front. A worthwhile sacrifice for them because they're already in towards the zone. More so towards the north side where you see not too many teams are currently positioned.
Diminished. He's got the high ground with Javi though. Just on the edge of Storm. I want to see if it's actually thrown in this way. That'd be a pleasant surprise since they committed pretty early. Oh, it is. Hey. So, I mean, they don't have a lot of material though to kind of hold this. And yeah, you can see even Diminished here is eyeing up some of that loot down low. It's even worth it. Probably not to go down, obviously. However, you have to do something here now. There's a replay though. Probably on the set of eliminations. Big damage though. Wow, triggering through.
Looks like Javi in every bullet in that clip, but one of 2 shockwaves being used. They have one more as a team, and you can kind of see why they're going for that fight. High ground's fine and dandy, but if you don't have the resource to hold it, it could cost you almost every point B, but it's Freon and Dragon that stop with the elevated layer. That could be a threat to their high ground.
Goes back, Blake in Preston in another endgame here, but saw that damage coming in. You have to assume it's Javi once again just connecting with that pistol. Meanwhile, Preston back to Blake. They haven't found eliminations since the last time we tuned in. There it is, Preston starting to aim up the high ground. The high ground team is very desperate on material count right now. Love to rotate here, inside, and sweeping around the outskirts.
Honestly, being in that situation of that last game, coming into this with a whole fire, see if you get the elimination. Javi and Diminish, though, get beat on their high ground. Stolen away for a short moment, and we talk about how much material they expended early on just to get it the first time. They have to give it up. Listen and Aldo perfectly played, because they don't even end up in a fight with another. They're not letting that opportunity out of their sight. They put some pressure onto the high ground, trying to chop them down once, but Aldo and Listen, they reconnected, but you can see it's barely being held together by one wall and ramp.
And Blake on the low ground actually found the refresh there in the end as well, but look at this, a Minish trying to clutch up. So low right now. These are big points being earned here, but he's only got 5 bills left. So does Shadow. Shadow's barely got anything, but he goes up for the high ground. Not quite enough to reach the top there. Down he goes. Meanwhile, lands in a box, and the enemy just slipped out of there. I don't even think he realized what was going on, but Shadow finds another one. Right underneath JoJo there. This is just chaos.
Yeah, big elims, and it really matters. It makes the difference here at the end of the day. Blake and Preston still trying to control as much of this low ground as possible, but Blake goes down. Disaster strikes yet again. Top 8 situation, so at least half of the placement points have already been grabbed up. So for Preston, it's almost like everything is bonus. Dragon ends up in a fight, beaming from across the map. Freon's able to get into the box, save the day, build to protect himself, but you can see he's fresh out of materials, down to the very last heals as well. Preston looking strong, though, all things considered, as a solo.
also has the chug as well, so has a couple options to play with right now. Dragon and Creon now just running out of gas here. They need anything they can find. They see Skittles there. There goes the finish. Okay, so just giving them just enough to kind of stay in the game here. Creon's going to be rewarded with the Siphon. Back in the storm he goes. It's
That's some no kills,
Preston
man.
with a monstrous shot onto both of them. And Dragon, Creon are just getting hunted down. The finish comes in from the tail end there. It's not Preston's points, but it is still a top 3, possibly top 5 here. We'll see Preston's inside this 3. Yup, looking very solid right now.
Yeah, all 3 of these teams, though, are inside of that top 10 leaderboard consistency. So this is going to open up a slot at the bottom of that leaderboard, no matter who wins. Better late than never, but Preston running out of builds, just trying to farm anything he can get his hands on. He's the solo caught in the middle. Only lasts for so long before Slepsy and Wagers clean up that elimination. 195 points. They have the mythic, so they can definitely turn the tide. The fight starts without him. Aloe goes in as well. Slepsy down to just a little bit of HP. Wagers goes up with the shockwave and gets the first down. Aloe gets dropped. Listen is free elimination, especially since they know they have the high ground, they have the advantage, and now they have the game in the bag.
And 13 eliminations to top it off. That shot. It's all the way up. Nope, he didn't go that high. He was right behind him already there, Jacob. What a game. And even for Preston to clutch up and get a top 3, that was incredible. Another victory out in the bag here is game number 4.
No, we're gonna start it all over. Kelly, bring the board back out. We're starting the day over. Wow.
All right, production.
No. The Slepsy and Wagers getting themselves a victory out. I think what's really interesting about this, going into this game, Slep